She smiled while they stabbed her, but she never stopped rising. They thought her smile was weakness. They thought it meant she didn't know, but she knew. She always knew. She saw every blade coming, each one wrapped in false affection, dipped in honeyed words, and still she smiled. Not because she enjoyed the pain, but because she knew they would never understand the power in her silence. They underestimated her because she never fought back the way they expected. She didn't scream, she didn't beg, she didn't collapse. She simply stood there, quiet, graceful, composed, as the world tried to tear her apart. And every time someone betrayed her, every time a hand she trusted turned against her, she added it to the fire she was building inside. They called her naive. They said she was too forgiving, too trusting, too soft. They didn't know softness isn't the absence of strength, it's the mastery of it. It's standing tall when the world tries to shrink you. It's choosing not to become the monsters that broke you. It's bleeding and still choosing to love. She had every reason to fall. They whispered behind her back. They laughed at her dreams. They belittled her ambition. They cheered when she stumbled. They vanished when she needed them most, but through it all she kept smiling. Not because she was unaffected, but because she refused to give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. She cried in silence, fell apart in private, collected her pieces in the dark, and when the sun rose, so did she. Flawed, cracked, stitched together with gold threads of resilience, they didn't know the night she spent battling voices that said, "You're not enough." They didn't see the morning she woke up and chose to try again, even when every part of her screamed to stay in bed. They see her now and wonder how she's still standing, how she's thriving, how the girl they once dismissed became the woman they can't ignore. But they don't know what it took. They don't know about the sleepless nights, the silent prayers, the heartbreak that echoed for years. They don't know how many times she had to forgive herself before she could forgive anyone else. How many versions of herself she had to kill to survive. How many times she looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the woman staring back, but kept moving forward anyway. She learned to rise, not because someone lifted her, but because she refused to stay down. She built a ladder from every insult, every doubt, every time they told her she couldn't. And with every step she smiled, not out of joy, but out of defiance. They said she was too emotional. Now her empathy is her compass. They said she was too fragile. Now her scars are her armor. They said she wouldn't make it without them. Now she's more herself than she's ever been. They tried to shame her for caring, for loving too much, for believing in people, but those things were never her weakness. They were her power, the fact that she could still smile after everything, that she could still dream, still believe, still rise. That's what makes her unstoppable. She doesn't need revenge. She doesn't want them to hurt. She just wants peace, a life where she doesn't have to constantly look over her shoulder. A life where her joy isn't something others try to steal, a life where she can finally rest. But if peace doesn't come, she knows how to fight in silence. She doesn't raise her voice, she raises the bar. She doesn't argue, she evolves. She doesn't chase, she attracts opportunity, purpose, authenticity, because she knows now what she's worth, and she'll never again beg someone to see it. She walks differently now, talks differently, chooses differently, not because she's bitter, but because she finally knows what she deserves. And it's not half love, it's not conditional support, it's not silence when she's screaming on the inside.